the other option is a quick menu, right? And by quick menu, we saw that when we were in in many roles, not just the training role, but like the admin role, right? We see how we have the quick menus there. So to show you that, so we've already saved that. So let's go in there. Perfect. Go here. I'll just show you that real quick. And we'll be able to do the same thing with our role, right? So the quick menus are what we see in the body of the role, like we see there, right? You see security, we see menu, then you see the review menus. Well, you see the security, which is the header, menus, and then you get to review menus, and we have the different sections that we can take out, which is why it's column 1, column 2, column 3. Again, we got our columns and how everything is laid out, and you can see if we had something in column 3, it would be a third column, so we can stack how many rows we wanted to stack, right? So if I go back to our menu, property accounting, and then I go to our quick menu, because these are quick menus, and then I go to add new, right? I get to tell Yardi what I want to do. No, we're not going to add it there. We get to go here, add new, and let's just say I want it, whatever I want it. I'll do analytics again, because we'll call that a good one to update. Let's actually do this. Let's call it let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's do that, because we'll see how weird it looks. So let's do admin toolbox again, and I just want to show you, because it's important to note, and this is why I was chewing on as I show you this example. But we're using a dashboard right now, right? Because the community manager, remember, the community manager role that we copy from the property accountant maintain the same dashboard, and so that dashboard for the property accountant is this dashboard here. So I go to community manager, which we want that to be their dashboard, like all our stats there. And honestly, for the property accountant, I know when I was doing the accounting, I like to maintain the same dashboard, because we were doing a lot of troubleshooting with move-ins, move-outs, things like that, and then I can jump to my financial reports. Now, many organizations, you may want an option to have this as your dashboard, and maybe we set that up here, and then you can have what's in the body. And I'm pointing that out because right now on our dashboard, we're sharing that community manager dashboard, so there's no quick links to put in the body. And so let's do this, and then let me explain. So I'm going to instead go back to our dashboard choice, and I know I didn't finish it out, so let me add new. I'm going to put dashboard here, and then I'm going to add new again, and then I'm going to create that dashboard link. I'm going to put my quotes on it so that it shows up, and then I'm going to call this community snapshot. I'm going to call that community snapshot, and then I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to go back here, so we have a real live updates. I'm going to hit refresh. Okay. Oh, I'm not even on row. I was going to say, whoops, something looks off. Go to our property accounting row, and I still have the dashboard because I have not moved that yet. And then I'm going to, now on my dashboard, let's actually go to another screen so you can track the change. Let's just go to bank check maintenance. Now if I do dashboard community snapshot, it takes me to the snapshot. So now I don't have to have that sit on my home page. So now I can go here, and then I can go to my quick menu. Okay, and then I can say none. Right? Are you sure you would like to change external file use? Yep. I can say none or just delete it out and hit save. Right? And then go back to this row, do a refresh, and there you go. Right? So that dashboard is gone now because I rather have the link here for the dashboard. Boom. And then for my home screen, this is where we're going to sit our quick menus. Okay. And so let's go and do our quick menu. Okay, and let me click down there and get a couple more. So that there. Call it delete transaction. And we'll go back to our admin and check ourselves because we want to make sure it's showing up correctly. Okay, so you notice, right? We get to see admin toolbox. We get to see delete transaction. Now, depending on how I want it to look, and so we'll just go back to the admin row just to show you, right? I then can sit the actual menu there, which is what I want to do, the actual clickable link. So let's go back to our PA dashboard, and I actually want that to be my name of here. And we'll just call this admin toolbox. We'll call it transaction cleanup. Okay. Transaction cleanup. That's the item header, and then we're going to put a admin function here, which in our toolbox there's a function called delete transaction, which is obviously something we do not want to give anybody access to, right? But for the sake of the video, we are going to do the delete transaction. Let's find our delete transaction button. This one might be one of those tricky ones. Let's see. There it goes. Delete trans is the one that we want. So I'm going to delete all that out so it's bare. Do the delete trans so it shows up there. Maybe add another one. And then make sure everything is spelled correctly or showing up correctly. Your links have to be within the quotes, which we talked about that. And then I want this to be delete transaction. So even though I deleted it, it didn't really go away. Okay. And then I also want the trans report. So after be deleted, I want the ability to run the report. Okay. And so let's clean that up. Let's clean that up. Let's just spell it all out. Delete transaction report. And then let's delete selected. Let's hit save, and then let's see what we got. make sure all our links are working. So then I go here, let's refresh, and what do you know, we've got our admin toolbox, which is that whole section header, and then we get to see, okay, within this section we're going to have transaction cleanup items, and then we have the delete transaction link. It's not broken, it works. And then we have delete transaction report. That's there, and that's how we add our quick menus. So you can see there is endless opportunity. So we remove the dashboard. We still have access to that dashboard, because when we want to say, hey, I need to look at the community snapshot real quick, we jump into community snapshot, and we can look at things. We can go to our analytics up there, go back home to our menu item default screen, and now we want to do transaction cleanup. Sure, we could have embedded it in the admin tool, but we wanted it to sit here to draw our attention to. And again, if we're on the accounting group, something related to the close would be a great use of these three columns, right? Column 1, column 2, column 3, where you can put in certain things. And all the new menu items that we added, the links are working appropriately, and so we can now deliver this to our accounting leaders and let them know their group is ready. And obviously we would probably have been working in conjunction with them to see what they want, so that we can build that out. But this is how you edit menus. This is how you pull menu items from other rows, like admin functions that we don't want to give up. Again, we call that giving away the farm. We don't want to give away the farm, so we want these different menu items embedded in this property accounting row. And so if we were assigning this to a new user, the only row they would have is the PA row or the PA menu. All this other stuff will go away, and so you can visualize from there, this is the only thing they have access to doing. They can't do anything else. They can't go into any role. So if that's not on this menu, they can't even get to it. So let's just say by happen chance they had the ability to, from a permission standpoint, change some service types, which could, again, property management accounting, that can affect some things. So they're able to change an accommodation charge or add a, service or what have you. Even if they had the permission in the background, there's no menu item that's going to allow them to get to that, because we took away the admin role. If this was the only role that they had, there's no way they can do that. And that's what I mean by using the menus and the permissions together to make sure that the users have the appropriate level of access, and not too little or not too much. So we have fully covered the menus in the Yardi system. You are now charged with the responsibility of owning the menus for your company, designing wonderful menus. The more creative you are, and keeping in mind the security that needs to be in place, you can really transform your organization just by menus. And we haven't even dived into everything else, but menus are so powerful because it essentially controls everything in Yardi and allow your users to do the things that they've been charged to do. So anyway, I hope that is helpful. I can't wait to see you again in our next course. Watch this video, rewatch it. I know it's a little long, but we really had to dive into the menus and really had to understand what Yardi has to offer. Awesome. See you in the next training.